If your coaching business had a theme or a song or a jingle or an anthem, what would it be? If you could just use 3 words to describe your business, to describe the energy of the work that you do, what 3 words would you use? Hello, beautiful, and welcome to the Prosperous Room. Share your 3 words in the comments below, or less, 3 words or less, of the feel of your business. For me, it will be in the Prosperous Room, especially with God Made Women Millionaires, it's less is more. Less is more, because what I've seen is the amount of things that one needs to do to move from $650,000 to $2.4 million is less. More potent, more pointed, poignant things, more powerful things. The amount of things we need to do to move from making $7 million to $10 million, that $3 million difference, less is more. Less of all of the things and focusing on one simple shift that changes everything. One pivotal shift that transforms a coach from a 7-figure coach to an 8-figure businesswoman. So when it comes to the Prosperous Woman, God Made Women Millionaires, the work that I do with clients, I invite people to consider that less is more. And when it comes to your pre-sold offer, the potent, highest value ticket coaching offer, that needs to be your skinniest, leanest, most powerful, strongest, deepest offer. It cannot be pregnant with 30 courses or videos or other offers. It cannot be bloated with bonuses. And I've talked about this before in this series, in the pre-sold offer series, is that no bonuses are needed. When women come into the Prosperous Woman and they come into God Made Women Millionaires, and they're up leveling from maybe a 10K offer to a 100K offer, or a 15K offer to a 75K offer, or 5K to 75K, or 100K to a 300K offer. Whether they're a health coach, a life coach, a career coach, or a relationship coach, a marriage coach, whatever it is that they're working on, or a consultant, whatever it is that they're doing, they're used to stacking bonuses, stacking what they call value onto their main offer so that it sounds good, it feels good, it looks good, but is it really good? And they say things to me like, Mimi, I have a workshop for this, I have 30 PDFs, 50 checklists, 40 hours of video. With a pre-sold offer, we strip everything down to the core. It's like I invite women to, when we're on Zoom, on a coaching call, to actually stand up. They can be out of camera, take everything off themselves. The makeup, the lashes, the nails, take everything off. Just strip yourself to the core of who God says you are, the way you came out of your mama's womb. And look at that beautiful woman that God created, that image of God looking back at you in that mirror. What do you see? It's the most powerful, most potent power that's looking back at you. The power that created the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars, all of us. The ocean. That God is in you. You are that divinity, that power. That is all that is there. And that is what we strip down your pre-sold offer to. Whether we're birthing, midwifing and birthing a new offer, or up-leveling what you have, it's the leanest, most powerful version of you that runs the fastest and does the mostest for the client without you doing the mostest. So no bonuses are needed. The offers are potent enough without the fluff. And you see, the reason why messaging doesn't land so many times for clients when they come in, work a lot of messaging, but we don't have to do that much work on messaging if your offer is the offer that God put through you. it automatically channels the messaging that is aligned with that offer. So when your offer is clean, when it's clear, when it's God-led, God-assigned, you can sell 12 spots of your 75K mastermind in 5 minutes on your email, on your DM. You can do a voice note in Telegram. You can send an email out. You can do a sales copy. You can do whatever you want to do. You get to decide how long it takes you to sell based on what you've told yourself it means to sell a high-ticket coaching offer. Whether you need to do a 6-week pre-launch and then do this or that, or just an email to your list saying, hey, this is happening, and allow them to raise their hands and say, oh my gosh, my name is all over that. I'm so grateful you finally came through. There's a relief that comes when you give people what they want. Then they drop. Some of them don't even realize they've been hyped up by your BS. They think they've bought into your BS so much, they think it's momentum. So when you're selling the thing that God has told you to sell, when God has invited you to sell, God has asked you to sell, God has preordained and gifted you to sell, you don't need the extra bells and whistles. I talk about this. You go to the presoldoffer.com, where I dive into the experience of birthing the pre-sold offer. It's thepresoldoffer.com. The link is below. You don't need the bells and whistles. All we need is obedience. One question I invite clients to consider when they come into the Prosperous Woman and they're working together and God made them millionaires is, are you willing to be obedient? Not to me. You, me, we're all the same. We're woman to woman, spirit to spirit, leader to leader. I am not more than you, you are not more than me. We are all that God says that we are. But are you willing to be obedient to the Holy Spirit? That's the difference. Because you no longer need to add value. The 30 bonuses, it invites you to be in integrity. If that thing in the bonus is needed for the transformation to happen, for her to lose the weight, for her to get married, for her to be a better partner in her relationship, in her marriage, for her to be a better leader, a better CEO, for her to make the 8 figures a year, if that's needed, it needs to be in the offer, not in a bonus. That is a lack of integrity. But the Holy Spirit will guide you and support you in where in your strategy, where in your system that bonus needs to flow, so she gets what she wants faster, quicker, at a deeper level. Your presence, the spirit of the presence of the Holy Spirit through you, and the way that you work add the value. Like I said before, results can show up in a 30-minute conversation that can change the rest of your life. Results can show up in an hour of a power hour conversation. Results can show up in a VIP day. And for some transformation, results will show up in 24 months. But it doesn't take 24 months. There are different layers of a transformation. And I'll share this with you. When clients come to the Prosperous Woman, one of the questions I've got in the past, not now, is why is supernatural 24 months? Because when you come into, and you come into the Prosperous Womb, and it's a womb, okay? And you're birthing, you're midwifing, you're birthing each level of who God says you are. You don't stop because you got money in the bank account that matched the number you said you wanted. Every layer changes who you are. The thing you said you wanted when you came into Supernatural on day 1 is different from when you're 90 days in Supernatural. All of a sudden, that thing looks so tiny because the window through which you see the world is completely different. And as each up level happens, your desires up level, who you're becoming up levels. Some of the things you thought you wanted, you never want anymore. You don't want anymore because you realize who you are doesn't need those things. That would just be icing on the cake if you had it. So there are different levels of transformation. So when you're creating your pre-sold offer, think of the future of your client. Think of that 24-month journey. When I was creating Supernatural 5 years ago, I wasn't thinking that my clients wanted to make 7 figures She can do that in one day. Some people do that in 70 minutes. Some people do that in 1 hour. So it doesn't take you 24 months to do that. But who you become at each step of the transformation lets you realize you don't need 24 months to make 7 figures. You can do that yesterday. But the thing that God is calling you to do in that next level requires a next up level of your nervous system and the frequency of who God is calling you to be. And what I love about getting into a container where that has different levels of transformation in different seasons, in the winter, in the fall, in the spring, you've gone through all the seasons, and your coach knows everything about your life, your weight, your business, your relationship. It's when you get to the end, if you get to the end of the season with that coach, you don't remember who you were when you came back in. You assume you're that person that you are right now. I see women come out of Supernatural, even the VIP days, and the way they are at the end, the things they say, I say to them, I want to say to them, you don't remember what you said when you came in, or you don't remember what you said 3 months ago or 9 months ago, because the way they speak, who they see themselves as is completely different, and that becomes their new normal. And all of a sudden, when they get to after 24 months, and it's the same in any coaching program, after 24 months, they think, what's my next up level? Because they see a different door. But anyway, that's all just extra stuff. The simpler your pre-sold offer is, the more likely your high-ticket coaching client, your best fit client is going to recognize the offer. The more bonuses and extras you stack onto it, the more hidden the real transformation becomes, because you're so focused on the extras, because you've been bullied into mediocrity to believe that you need to magnify the bonus and the extras for your client to see the value. That's a mediocre offer. That's a mediocre businesswoman. And you don't need to be that. You're better, bigger, stronger, mightier than that when the Holy Spirit is working through you. So if you're still adding stuff in your offer to convince people that 100K price tag is worthy, shift into investment mode. Shift into investment mode. And ask yourself this: what if it's already enough? When women come into the prosperous womb in God Made Women Millionaires, the first thing I ask them is, what if this is already enough? What if you just need to be still and see what the Holy Spirit is asking you to strip away from this? Chip away from it. Strip it away. So that what's left is the most potent, most powerful force of the universe you've ever met in your life. You've ever experienced in your life. Just take everything that's not you. First, let's remove everything that's not God. Then let's remove everything that's not you. The mindset, the thoughts, limiting beliefs, the bonuses, the package, the videos. And let's see what God birthed through you. So you remember who you are. Go to the presoldoffer.com to dive deeper into your divinity and what God is leading you to in your new season.